In this video, I'm going to show you in a step-by-step fashion as how to train a model on your own dataset. For this video, I'll be using this very small model Tiny Stories 1 million with the dataset provided by Mohammad Rashad character backstories from the Hugging Face. I'll be using AWS SageMaker Notebook instance for this video. The first step which we need to do is to install some of the prerequisite modules of Python, which are transformer, dataset, and accelerate. So let's install them. It is saying that they're already installed, which is correct. And in SageMaker Notebook, I'm using the kernel conda underscore PyTorch. Okay, so this is done. Next step is to import all of these modules and then set the seed for our transformer. And this is very quick. This is done. Third step is to set our model. So this is a model we are going to use from the tiny stories, and it is saving this value in this model checkpoint. Next step is to load our data set which we are going to use. If you want, you can replace this data set value here, and this is going to load this data set. It has already done it. Now we are going to create a validation split of this data because this data is not splitted. So let's click here. That's already done. And next step is to create a tokenizer out of this. And this is again very simple step. We just tokenize all the text within that model, and then we need to pad this token. These are the requirements of fine tuning a model. This is already done. Okay, now we need to define a tokenization function which concatenates the data set, because, and I will tell you what I mean. You see this text and target. If you go into this data set, you will see this is a text. Whenever this text is given, this target will be returned. So this is what we are going to define in our tokenizer function. And this is where you need to do your own customization if you are using your own data set. And it depends from use case to use case. Okay, now we have done it. Now we need to apply this on our data set, this tokenizer function. So you can see that what we are doing, we are using a map function, and we are mapping this tokenized function with our data set. Okay, click here. It just takes a bit of a time, so that's already done. Okay, next we are going to give this model a checkpoint. What it basically means that we have a pre-trained model, this tiny stories one, and we are telling it that it needs to predict the next word in the model. And in the next step, we are going to give it some of the training parameters. So we are giving it a and then we are giving it evaluation strategy, learning rate, verticate. Normally these are the default which you can use. Okay, so it says incomplete input. Okay, what I am missing here, I think use CPU. Maybe I'm just using, let me, oh, I missed this um, bracket at that. Let me go. This is the bracket I missed. Let me run it again. Okay, that's done. And then all you need to do is to use a trainer from Hugging Face, and this is a common thing which will you can use from for a lot of your training models. Just remember this, that this is your data set, this is your trained data set, and these are the arguments which we have already mentioned here. Okay. Now let's run this. This is also done, and then we need to start the training. So now this training, what it is doing is it is getting trained on our data set which we provided, and this takes a bit of a time. So let's wait for it to finish. It is still running, and you can see that this is going to show you the bar here. So let's wait for it to finish, and then we will see. We will give it some of the prompt and see if it works or not. And it will take some time. Training is finished, and it took around 10 minutes, as you can see here, almost 11 minutes. And then it has produced us the output, which is correct. In the next step, I'm just suppressing any errors or warnings. That's done. Now it is time to give it some of the prefixes and prompts and see what happens. So this is the code I'm going to use. So if you see in this code, what is happening is first I'm giving it as a prefix because this is the requirement of our model. And then I'm giving it simply this prompt, and it's an array of prompt. You can also embed more if you want. I'm just keeping it for one for a quick output. And then I'm looping through these prompts and then asking this model to generate the output and then printing this output. So let's run it. Okay, so it has run here, and now let's display this. So all I did, I just simply printed this output text, and it has generated this backstory. You can read it. Spider was born in the woods and was born in the forest, and the forest was wild, and then it goes on, and it just gives me a paladin output. And let's suppose you can even maybe change it. We can call it kangaroo character race, and I will say Joey, which is a, and maybe I'll just call it weird output. And then let's also give it another prompt. Maybe I will just call it emu, which is another animal here in Australia, and then I'll just call it type and character class, and there's that output. Just a random stuff which I'm doing, and instead of maybe I'll just put it here so that it does it in the same go. Okay, let's try it out. It's running. So there you go. It is saying emu is a child of young age and is daughter of human, who is daughter of human. You can see that it has just stuck in the loop. So here the performance has trickled down. And the fun thing is that every time you'll run it, it is going to give you um, another different result. So I'll just call it maybe like output. Let's see. There you go, a child of family. So you see, instead of weird output, it has gone in with the something different. Okay, so that's it. The crux of the matter is that it is fairly easy to train a model, even with a very small model of 33 million parameter, you can see that it took around 10, 11 minutes. So the larger your model is, the larger your data set is, it is going to take huge time. But all you need to do is to fine tune it in a specific way. And then you also need to take care of your prefixes and prompts. I will put all these commands into my blog, and I will share the link to that blog in the video's description so that you can follow along. I hope that you liked it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.